was very concerned about your screaming at the music festival.
Oh my God. Okay. So this past weekend, I went to ACL Music Festival, which is Austin City Limits in Texas. And you're not going to believe what happened to me.
You got invited to go see SZA and like a thing, right?
Well, I mean, SZA was headlining. I bought tickets specifically to go see SZA. SZA headlined Friday night. Mm-hmm. And so I flew out Thursday. I'm on my flight. It was one of those flights. I got on the plane and I was like seat like 16F or some shit like that. And then I sat down, and then, you know, when you have status with Delta or any other airline, you get upgraded regularly. So I'm sitting in my seat, and then everyone is on the plane, and the flight attendant or the gate agent comes in. They come to my seat. They're like, "Hey, Mr. Burton, you've been upgraded. You're actually in 1B now." I was like, "Oh, great!" So I get my stuff, go to 1B, and then I sit down, and then this white woman comes. Like, I put my bag in the thing and I sit down, I take out my phone charger, and like about 2 minutes, a white woman comes and she's like, "Hey, this is my seat." I was like, "Oh, they just told me I was upgraded to 1B. She's like, "Well, you're not. This is my seat." And I was like, "Okay." And then so I was like, "Can someone tell me what to do here?" So the flight attendant comes and she looks at the woman's boarding pass. She's like, "Yeah, she's in 1B. And she's like, "Let me see." She's like, "Oh, you're in 10B. I was like, "Okay, great." So I got upgraded to Comfort Plus. I go sit in my seat. And then a minute later, the same gate agent comes back to me. He's like, "Hey, so there's a bit of mix up. You're not in 10B. You're in 1B. She has to move." I was like, "Well, so I'm going to tell her that." And then he was like,
now
"Yeah."
Flying the plane. Actually, we made a mistake. You're the co-pilot. Actually, we need you to be the flight attendant. I don't know. We have a uniform in the back that can fit you. Do you fit this vest?
So that I walk up with my shit, and bitch, also, I've really been into Jersey Mike subs. Bitch, Jersey Mike subs, I don't know what they be doing to that bread and that sauce and that salt and pepper and the oil, but it slaps. So I have like my Jersey Mike sub. I'm like so excited to eat a Jersey Mike sub. So I walk in my fucking bag of food, and I have my book bag, and I have my iPad in my hand, and my phone and my charger, because I've been moved so many times. I haven't been able to sell. And then I'm like, "This is my seat." She's like, "Ugh." And I'm like, "I didn't make the rules, ma'am. They tell me this is my seat." And she's like, "Yeah, I know. It's your seat." So she gets herself and she goes back to whatever seat she goes.
Can you describe what she looks like,
I sit in my
please?
seat, whatever. This white woman, I want to say she's in her early 40s. She had brunette hair with blonde highlights. She had a white top
Was it
on
long?
with green.
Was it short?
She had it up in like a messy bun.
Was she short or tall?
She was shorter than me, so I want to say maybe she was. If I had to guess, I'd say she's like 5'7" or 5'6".
So maybe average height. And what was her body type?
Slender.
How was she dressed?
She was wearing a white top, a white like linen top, and green army like cute pants. They
Not
weren't
like
like
Andy. Go ahead.
Her wearing Andy.
White top. Go ahead. Continue.
Andy's a white verse. And she's wearing that, and then so she gets her stuff. But I can tell she wasn't mad at me. She was like upset. I was annoyed too. I had to get up so many times. I think she was just annoyed. She had to get up so many times. So she goes back to her thing. I said to my thing. I do my thing. So plane fly. It's a 3-hour flight to Austin. As we land in Austin, I pick up my phone, Roberta, and, you know, because I view her stories a lot, SZA's story pops up on my thing. So, you know, when the story that you view most often are at the front of your Instagram thing. So I click her story, and then I see a picture of SZA. It's this picture. I texted it to Patty, so I have it here. This picture of SZA pops up in her story.
I can't see that. Can you send it?
If you're watching on Patreon.
It's
you
like
can't
blurry.
see it?
I mean, it's just because the connection's not great. But if you send it to the group chat, I'm sure that they can see it at home.
I'm sorry.
Pretty well.
Bobby Caldwell and Jacob. You know, why should... Oh, no. I have you say this Bobby Caldwell in my phone. So I think it just does that to all your things in my phone. Apple does that. Mm-hmm. Did you get it?
Not yet, but keep going, please.
Oh, okay. So, okay, it just went through.
There it is. Yeah. Okay.
She posted this on the story. So SZA has on a hat, a white hoodie, glasses, face mask. And I see the picture on the story. I'm like, that looks like a Delta flight. And it was 3 hours ago. I'm like, we took off 3 hours ago. So I'm like, it sits on this plane. So, Bob, I turn around and, I'm in 1B, the aisle seat in first class. She's in 3C, the aisle seat in first class, 2 seats behind me. So I turn around and I see her and I turn right back around. And I have my phone up like this. So this bitch is probably watching me looking at her story, right? So I like, oh my God. SZA is on my fucking flight. So I start like gagging. I am gagging. I'm like, oh my God. I immediately text Patty. I'm like, Patty, what should I do? I was like, Patty was like, shut up, you're lying. I was like, Patty, no, SZA on my flight. This is crazy. And y'all know, I love, obsessed. I'm obsessed with SZA. So we land the plane. The plane lands. And then I get off the plane and I go through the jet bridge and I wake at the gate desk, and I see a woman with like a sign saying like Melissa something. It's probably like a pseudonym she uses so people don't know it's her because she's trying not to obviously create a stir. So then I go past that, and then
she could probably use her real name. What is her real name? Like her legal name?
Solana.
She probably could have used that.
Anyway, so then I get past the thing and I'm like, okay, do I say something? I was like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be a creep. I was like, I have to take this moment. Like, this is the universe. Like, I have to say something. So I wait and I see her go to the gate agent. So then I turn around and I walk. I'm like, hey, my name is Monét X. She's like, shut up. I knew it was you. I was like, what? She's like, I saw you, but I didn't want to like bother you. I was like, you could never bother me. I was like, I'm Monét X. I was like, I'm a big fan of yours. She's like, me and my team, we love you. We think you're so funny. You're so dope. I was like, shut up. I think you're so funny. I think you're so dope. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, girl. And then she was like, and I was like, I literally got tickets to come to ACL just to see you headline tomorrow night. She's like, are you serious? I was like, yes. I was like, you're so dope. I'm obsessed with you. Everyone knows that I love SZA. She's like, oh, that's really cute. And she gave me a hug and we hugged. And she was like, well, let me know if you need anything for the weekend. I was like, no, we have our tickets and everything. Like, we're all good. Like, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. I'm so excited for the show. Good luck, everything. She was like, okay, bye. And then I turn around and I walk to baggage claim. Get to baggage claim. Like 15 minutes later, the bags start finally coming. And then her and her team come to the baggage claim as well. And they're doing their thing. I'm over here. I was like, I wanted to like say hi again. I'm like, but I'm not gonna bother this bitch. She's probably like, please leave me alone. I have to get ready for a concert. Like, don't fucking bother me. So she and her assistant walk over to me and she's like, hey, Monét. So she was like, this is my assistant, Amber. Do you want to give her your phone number? Because she can like get you set up for like some VIP tickets so you can like have like a good place to watch the show and anything else you may need, she can take care of you. And I was like, oh my God, that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. And she's like, yeah, of course. And I put in my number in her assistant's phone and she was like, and I was like, forgive me. I have a New York area code. She's like, oh, that's all good. We're from the East Coast too. I'm like, oh yeah, you're from New Jersey. She's like, yeah. And she's like, how long have you been in LA? I was like, I moved here a year ago and I'm trying to get acclimated. I just got a place in North Hollywood. And she's like, oh, dope. And we're shooting the shit for like 4 minutes. But then I was like, you know what? I was like, I didn't want to like take too much time. I didn't want to start saying dumb shit. So I was like, hey, I got my bags. So I'm going to go. Good luck tomorrow. And I can't wait for you to see you headline tomorrow night. He's going to be everything. Then she gave me another hug. And then that was it.
That's congratulations. It's like you had a lot of fun.
I met SZA. Oh my God. It was amazing. She was so nice. I was so excited. I met SZA in real life. That is so. She's a fan. She's a fan of mine.
That's remarkable. That's so cool.
So that made my weekend. Honestly, if I didn't do anything else that weekend, that made everything well worthwhile. It was great.
I do want to reiterate what I said at the beginning of the podcast. I have a few concerns about you screaming at the concert.
Oh, it's fine. I saw my ENT today. And everything is healing nicely. And he said, like you're you're in a really unique circumstance. I can tell you have really great training and everything, like classical training. But he was like, you're doing like a lot of stand-up stuff. You are singing. You are not getting a lot of sleep. And he was like, it's just like a different beast. And you're in a really unique place where you kind of need like unique speech techniques to help you preserve your voice, but everything is going nicely, and yeah.
I don't know if our listeners know that you are having nodule problems.
Yeah, well, so it's more
peep them to the game.
Yeah, it was my right vocal fold, my right vocal cord is swollen, and it was a little hemorrhage on there. So what can happen if you're not getting a lot of sleep, if you're straining your voice, you can cause hemorrhaging, like all the little, because if you don't know, your vocal cords are two very thin muscles, and they lengthen to vibrate, and they vibrate like this. And when you like strain, you're hitting one place a lot, and it causes hemorrhaging in there. So I had a little hemorrhage on my right vocal cord, but I was on vocal rest all last week, and so the hemorrhaging has stopped and everything is healing nicely. So I don't need any surgery or anything. I just need to take it easy for like the next 2 to 3 weeks and not be wild. And after that,
who else did you see at ACL?
I saw Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X was fabulous. Oh my God. So coming back home, I had an early flight. Lil Nas X was Saturday night. I came back Sunday night. I missed the last day of ACL. I didn't see Casey Musgraves. I came back on Saturday morning, and then all of Lil Nas X's dancers were on my flight. And then there was another thing. I was at the gate agent. He was like, hey, don't get on the plane yet. He's like, you're probably going to get upgraded because we're missing 2 people. So then he's like, just give me 5 minutes. And he's like, paging Montero Hill, this is your last call. We're boarding your flight. Please come to the gate. I was like, not Lil Nas X is going to be on my flight coming back home, because that's his government. That's his government name.
Flight?
He did not make the flight. But so I got Lil Nas X's first class seat. Thank you, Montero.
Oh, so you were in his seat.
I had Lil Nas X's seat, girl.
You had such a star-studded Delta experience.
I know. Who else did I see? I saw Pink. Pink was fabulous. The Dixie Chicks were there. They sang one of your favorite songs.
Sin Wagon?
They opened up with Sin Wagon.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. Do you know Goodbye Earl or Earl?
Earl, yeah. Earl, Goodbye Earl. Earl had to die. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that song as well. They did a bunch of songs. I saw Diplo. I saw there's this group called Sophie Tucker. Have you heard of these people?
I know who Sophie Tucker is. I don't know the group Sophie Tucker.
Wait, there's like a famous person named Sophie Tucker that's not the group?
She's very dead, very old. And she was like old, like singing vaudevillian act, Sophie Tucker. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Like actory type.
Yeah. So I saw Sophie Tucker.
And even, what's the name used to do, she's like an old singer, vaudeville actor type. And what's the name used to do a bit where she would impersonate her. Bette Midler used to do a whole Sophie Tucker bit where she would impersonate Sophie. Bette Midler would impersonate Sophie Tucker, where you basically sing a song, and then in between the songs you tell these like really weird, sometimes crass jokes.
She's in the Chicago lyric for Roxy Hart.
Yeah, Sophie Tucker will shit, I know, to see her name get billed below. She's an old vaudevillian like comedy singer lady.
Work.
Sophie Tuck. She always talk like this. Sophie Tuck. Oh, my husband Ernie once said to me, Soph.
She was not at ACL. It was a group.
I'd be concerned. I'd be very concerned if she made it to ACL.
A group. This guy and this girl, and they're Sophie Tucker. The guy is like 6'7", and their thing is every time they do a show, they play a game with the audience. So this one was like a tennis theme, and they were interesting.
I went to go see Puddle's Pity Party this week, which was very exciting for me. And Puddle's Pity Party is this clown that anyone knows me knows that I really love clowns. And I saw him twice, actually. Me and Jacob went on the 14th, and then me and Todrick went on the 16th. And when we went, we're sitting down in the audience, like at the VIP experience, and this lady came out, and I was like, man, that lady looks so familiar. Who is that? And then I was like, oh, it's Kate Flannery. So Kate Flannery and we did this thing together a while back. We just kind of happened to be together on this like thing. And then I was like, oh my God, that's Kate Flannery from The Office. She's like the drunk from The Office. So, and then Puddles recognized me, which was really cool to me. And he was like, oh, you got to come back here and talk to me. So I went back and he didn't say, actually he sent his manager out. And I got to go back and meet Puddles, and I saw Kate Flannery again. And Todrick was there. It was all very very random. Also, Coolio was having a memorial service like right next door, which was very interesting because Coolio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coolio passed away very recently.
I don't know he passed.
Yeah, Coolio passed away very recently, and I think they were having a memorial service for Coolio. And I guess one of his cousins stopped Todrick and was like, oh my God, I have to get a picture with you. And he was like, sure. And she was like, all right, let's do a video, let's do a picture. And then she looked at me and this guy with Todrick, she goes, and I need a picture with you too as well. And I was like, why do you want a picture with us? She goes, I just want a picture with you all. And I was like, you don't even know who we are. You just want, she goes, just do it. I just want a picture with, I just want a picture with you. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, so what's going on? And then Todrick was like, what's going on? Are you guys here to see Puddles? And she was like, no, I'm here. My cousin. And she showed her shirt that had Coolio. And she's like, I'm here for a memorial service for my cousin. And then we went in to go see Puddles. It was a really good show. I saw it twice, and I really recommend anyone out there if you're interested in clowns or really beautiful voices, like a really nice baritone singing. I really recommend you go see Puddles. It is very interesting. It is very niche. It is no SZA, but I had a lot of fun, and I saw him twice, and once in Thousand Oaks and once in Torrance.
Was it was it in in
the theater? One was at the Bank of America Theater, the Bank of America Performing Arts Center, and the other one was at the Torrance Creative Arts Center.
Well,
I'll tell you more about it when I come. Let me tell you more about it when I come back. All right, what were you asking?
But when you said the memorial was next door, did this theater have multiple rooms that just had a memorial?
Well, it was the Torrance Creative Arts Center, and I think there were multiple spaces. Like I don't know if where Coolio's memorial service was a theater, but I know it was a room. It was a building next to the theater on the same property.
Got it.
So it might have been like an event hall, maybe. Maybe it was a theater. Who knows?
ASA was the first festival I've ever been to. I've worked at festivals. Like you and I did Life is Beautiful before. I've done Just for Laughs festival. I've done a bunch of festivals, but I've never been a spectator. I've been a
audience member. What are you doing?
Hello? I think my Alexa said something. It was so loud. I guess it scared me.
There's always somebody in your house. There's always someone creeping on you. An audience member, a spectator.
I've never been a fan at a festival. And
a ticket holder.
It was a lot of work. My feet were done. I was like, after day one, Doc Martens the first day, and I was like, ooh, girl. Because you're walking around, you're standing up and walking around from like 2:00 in the afternoon until 10:00 at night, and walking back to your vehicle. It was a lot. It was a lot. But Patty went as well, and Patty and I are both very huge SZA fans. And the whole time with SZA, we were just like looking at each other, just like, oh my God, this is so good. And we were just like hugging each other. It was very fun, very euphoric.
Yeah, a lot of my friends were at ACL this week, and the idea of a festival just seems like too much work to me to go and attend. But I can do a conference. Something about a conference, because they're indoors, usually doesn't feel like as much work. Like you're in the sun. And conferences tend to be smaller than festivals. I went to I used to go to the Thespian conference when I was in high school. That was my favorite. It was the most wonderful time of the year. I just was so obsessed with Thespian conference when I was in high school. And I also, it just feels like a lot of work to go to these things. I used to have this one friend that I would go to concerts with all the time. Like he was like,
you told me y'all would go like and stand in the front.
He was like an obsessive concert. He would go to I went to so many concerts with him. By the way, I rarely ever knew the band. I think the one I kind of knew was Natasha Kills. I was like, I think I've heard of Natasha Kills before. And I was like, oh yeah, I think I know that song. I'm Gonna Kill My Boyfriend. I think I know that song. But I would go see these bands, and he was like one of those folks he's like the first one there. His chest is pressed against the stage. Like he is like an avid concert goer. And he was like, he's like 6'5". So he and I would go, and I would stand in front of him because I'm 6'2", and he would stand directly behind me. I mean, like literally ass to dick, and me like sternum to stage. And people hated us because we were both so tall, and we were right at the very front. And he was like, well, I mean, we got here early. And I mean, part of me is like, yeah, but also like, I mean, just because you're tall doesn't mean you have to go to the back forever. Like you want to get close to the stage, you deserve to be close to the stage too. I feel bad for the people standing behind him. He was 6'5".
Well, on Lil Nas X Day on Saturday, there was this, we were in Texas, and there was this really tall guy in front of me with like a big ass 10-gallon like hat as well. And I was like, sir, I mean, not this hat, not you being like 6'4" and you have this big ass hat on too. That was a little wild, but I'm like, go off.
Whenever I go to the theater, I always take my hat off. And I always wear a hat, but I always take the hat off. Not because I'm like, I'm indoors, but I'm like, I'm tall and someone's probably behind me trying to see the show. And I don't want them being like, this
or you
bitch
ever be in
big
drag and you in a drag, you had a big ass wig. Like when I was in New York, I've been to like a couple Broadway shows in drag, and bitch, I was in my wig, being tall, just obstructing somebody's view, being probably so obnoxious.
I've only been to one Broadway show in drag, and I've been to one Broadway show with you when you were in drag.
Oh, when we finished Exchange Rate. And I was wearing that pink wig. What show was that?
Waitress with Tadra Call.
Waitress with Tadrika. Oh. Yeah, but so festival. So you would never go to a festival. Festivals are just not. You don't think they're your thing.
I don't know that I said all that. That's a bit extreme. What I said was I don't know that festivals particularly speak to me. It just seems like it seems grueling, and I don't know that there's that. Like, I think it'd probably be pretty rare that there's that many artists on one dais that I would really want to see.
Bitch, speak for last year, in the UK, they did this. It was the first time they did it, I think, called the Wireless Festival.
And it was one of like all the girl rappers.
Yes, it was Cardi, Nicki, Megan, Doechii, SZA, Summer Walker, her, like literally every artist that is in my phone. I was like, how did they get all those female rap artists? Because Nicki and Cardi famously had beef, and now Nicki's fighting everybody. Nicki's fighting with Lotto, and Nicki is fighting with JT. Girl, the female rapper drama is wild right now.
I probably would go to a girl rap festival, maybe, but also I'm kind of like, honestly, I'm good just like either catching y'all one-on-one or just listening to your music and big upping you and like supporting you in that way. I don't love the idea of being in like really big crowds, being bumped around and pushed by people, being in the sun. Me and my girlfriend in high school used to go see like, I think we saw we saw Maroon 5.
Oh my God, Maroon 5, they don't perform anymore, right? They're done. They're done.
I don't know because I don't know if Maroon 5 still performs. But we saw their Songs About Jane tour. Oh my God, that was just so long ago. And I think we went to go see Omarion together.
Not Omarion.
I think we went to go see Omarion together, as well.
In 2022, yes, the band is still together. Most recently, to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the September 11th attacks in New York City. So I guess Maroon 5 still performs together. I mean, the only one I know from Maroon 5 is Adam Levine. I don't know. I can't even guess anyone else's name in the Maroon 5. Like, I've never known any of their names.
Well, they might have. They might. I don't know. They might not even all be the same people.
Only two of them straight. Ryan Dusick and Mickey Madden changed, but everyone else is the same.
I mean, what do you mean everyone else? That's like two of the five.
Is Adam Levine, Jesse Carmichael, James Valentine, Matt Flynn, PJ Morton, and Sam Farrar.
There are 6 people in the band, and they have different drums and bass than when they started.
Yeah.
Oh, work. But I did see Maroon 5. They were very good. They were very good. I was like, wow, this is a great band. I remember Adam Levine was like, I broke my collarbone, or like I cracked a rib, so like I just can't give it all today. Sorry. And then he put on a really great show. I know people do not like Adam Levine right now because of his cheating
DMs,
and how much he loved that woman's body, and I don't know what, she must have been serving something, honey. He got her together in the DMs. She got him together in the DMs, honey.
A Jasmine Sullivan concert. I paid a lot of money for those tickets, and I was literally the first row. It was me, Dewan, the lady from those Tyler Perry shows, and then Lena Waithe, and like it was us in the front. And but Jasmine Sullivan is someone I have loved since like high school, and I was very comfortable paying good money to be like, to see this bitch breathe and sweat. But she had lost her voice 2 days before that, so she was I still thought it was a good show. She had to cut her set a little short, but it was still a really great concert. So sometimes these artists be like, I ain't feeling well today, but I feel like she still put on a great show.
I do like going to see people in theaters. I do not want to go see you outside. I don't want to stand up. I don't want to sit in the grass. I don't want to lay on dirt. I don't want to be sweating. I don't want to have a wristband that I can't take off and put back on. I don't want to walk near a fucking tent that says Budweiser on it. I want to walk into a theater. I want to sit my ass down. I want to see my little show. I want to get my ass up and I want to fucking leave. That's what I want to do. I just do not want the rigmarole of being outdoors at a thing. I mean, there are some people that I probably would go see. I thought about it. I really wanted, my availability wasn't working, but I wanted to go see Diana Ross at the Hollywood Bowl. Oh my God, I wish I could have seen Diana Ross at the Hollywood Bowl, but in my schedule, I was driving by the Hollywood Bowl and I saw Diana Ross's name. I started freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go see Diana fucking Ross at the Hollywood Bowl. But I looked at my schedule and I was like out of town or something and for whatever reason. Can you see what day Diana Ross at the Hollywood Bowl, Jacob? I can't remember what it was, but at some point down the road, I was like, "This, I'm going to," and like, but also the Hollywood Bowl, even though it's outdoors, it's still seated. I've
never been to it.
Like, I've never been either. I've never actually been in the Hollywood Bowl. But
let me say something. When there's an event at the Hollywood Bowl and you're trying to get to that side of town, bitch, don't even try. It is ridiculous trying to get through Hollywood Bowl traffic. They shut down everything. It is wild. Anytime that we have like something, I had to be doing something. I'm coming to your house or something. I had to like find a whole alternate route because it's wild trying to get through the Hollywood Bowl.
She was August 26th, and I was doing We're Here. That's what it was.
We're Queer.
She was there on August 26th, and I remember just like being like, "Oh my fuck, I got a Diana Ross!" Could you imagine? Could you imagine sitting there and Diana Ross comes out in a big fucking tulle coat and says, "Nothing can keep me from you."
I reckon that'll be.
Or she sits there, she goes, she starts singing The Boss.
I reckon that'll be fierce. I don't think
I would die.
I don't think I would have the same feeling as you, but it'll probably be fierce. So I'm not like, oh my God, I would die to see that. So now, baby, when I saw Patti LaBelle, at the King's Theater in Brooklyn. Myself and Chris Dunbar went, and that was great. Patti was fun. She did all the Patties, and that was a really good concert. But I don't think I would have the same Diana Ross reaction. I'm trying to think, who would that be for me? SZA. Beyonce.
I would only go to a Beyonce concert if I had a very VIP experience. I have no desire to wait in line that long to get in. It would, oh my God, I'm stressing out right now thinking about
They'll be so expensive.
Thinking about going to a Beyonce. It's not even about the price. It's about like the rigmarole of going to a Beyonce concert sounds. I once went to a Madonna concert. With Miss Cracker was doing it. It was at Barclays, and it was
Miss Cracker was doing it.
She was working the after party, so she got me tickets to go see the Rebel Heart tour. And it was such a production to get into Barclays. I was like, this is fucking stressing me out. I am stressed out trying to see this fucking show.
When I went to go see Beyonce,
it's not quite because I saw Madonna at Barclays and I also saw oh my God, Kendrick Lamar at Barclays too. Mm-hmm. And the Kendrick Lamar concert admittedly had a few less people than Madonna, than the Madonna concert, so it was less to get in. And I also was going with like people who like were affluent. And I got invited by someone, and I don't know why. Okay, answer me this question. A friend of mine said, "Do you want to go to the Kendrick Lamar concert?" And I said, "Yeah, I would love to go to the Kendrick. That sounds so great." So she was like, "All right, I just need $700." And I was like, "I thought you were inviting me to see."
It's tricky. But then I was like,
thing. I guess you're right. Like you didn't say, "Can I treat you to Kendrick Lamar?" You're like, "Do you want to go see Kendrick Lamar?"
But if someone said to you, "Hey, you want to come to this Kendrick Lamar?" Well, let's say It's different. Okay, if she said, "Hey, do you want to go to this Kendrick Lamar concert?" Or if someone said, "Do you want to come to this Kendrick Lamar concert with me?" That I would feel like they're saying that they have a ticket or that you're coming, like they're paying your way. But if someone says,
the word "with me" seems like the change for you.
I think so. And someone's like, "Hey, you want to come to this? You want to come to this comedy show with me?" I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, they have an extra ticket or they're paying because they want someone to go with. You know what I mean? That's what I would think.
Where I am now in my life, what I hear is this. I have a ticket to the Kendrick Lamar concert. I have an extra ticket. Do you want it? And then
come with me?
Like, I have an extra ticket. Do you want to come with me? Versus being like, do you want? But someone says, do you want to come? Do you want to go to the Kendrick Lamar concert with me? To me, that does not scream. I'm giving you this. I have an extra ticket. Do you want to come with me? Says I'm giving you this ticket for free. And do you want to go to the Kendrick Lamar concert? In hindsight, I now agree that it was actually Sashir Zameda offered me the ticket. Sashir Zameda called me and was like, "Do you want to go see?" It was me, Sashir.
Oh, this one you got.
I'll tell you in a second. It was me, Sashir Zameda, Michelle Buteau, Alana Glazier, and like I think one other person.
Also, congrats to Michelle Buteau. She's doing this this show that she wrote or something is coming to series, and it's like this really big show on Netflix, I think. So congrats to her. Get it, bitch.
You have any more information?
No, all I know is that she sold. It was like a Deadline article came out about it. It's like a really big thing for this like black woman to get this thing. So congrats.
Survival of the thickest.
Survival of the thickest.
Let's get a little bit of information.
Peppermint is casting it. Congrats, Peppermint.
And it's from A24, who does Euphoria.
Yes.
Who also did the movie with Everything Everywhere All at Once. And they also do Z-Way, which I'll be on the new season of Z-Way. I don't know if you all saw that, but I will be on the new season of Z-Way on Showtime.
Z-Way.
Yeah, it is. Michelle Buteau is really fantastic. She's has a great special. I found out about her actually through NPR.
I found out about her on The Circle. She hosts The Circle, and she always has like little funny one-liners on The Circle.
I found out about her on NPR because she had this thing where she was like she had a story about how she has a ex or either her ex or her current husband or something was illiterate, and she taught him how to read.
Oh wow!
Like she taught either her ex or her husband how to read. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's why I don't think I would have the patience. I don't have the patience to teach anyone anything except music. Like I'm like thinking about having a kid, and like the thought of.
How you gonna be Nettie in The Color Purple if you can't teach somebody how to read? How you gonna be Nettie in The Color Purple? You can't teach somebody how to read.
Yeah, that's an act. I can definitely act like I can. But I was seeing my friend Lauren post stuff about her kid and stuff on Instagram often, and she was showing like what the math looks like now. It is like nothing like how I learned how to do math in school. And she be sitting there like bald-headed and confused, like, how the fuck do I teach this girl how to do mathematics? This is crazy. And like, you have to do it the way that they're teaching in school. Like, if you get, because now with, well, I guess it's kind of always that way.
How do you say that word? The long form of math?
Mathematics.
Work.
Because you can get the right answer, but if you don't get the right answer like they're teaching you, like it's wrong because they want you to learn the way that they're teaching you. And she posts a lot about that, and I'm like, oh, having a child seems so stressful and so hard. God bless parents. Also, this is really bugging me. So I was in New York recently doing a thing, and then I went to the store to buy a chicken, tomato, lettuce, and cheese on multigrain toast, right? So back in the day when I would buy this in high school, 20 years ago? When I would buy this in high school, this sandwich was $3.75. I went to that same store to get the same sandwich, except back in the day I would get it on a Hero. Y'all, if y'all don't know what that is, you're not from the New York. I don't know if they call it Heroes everywhere. It's the long bread. On a Hero, that was $3.75. I went back to that same store to get the same sandwich. It was $11.95. That is more than 120% increase in price. How do people afford to give their kids lunch money? Like, if you're giving your kid lunch money to get a sandwich and a soda and a bag of chips, bitch, you got to give your kid $20 to go to school every day. Like there's a couple
of things going on there. I think that I don't think that everything is inflated at that same price. all food across the board is inflated at the same price. I think you and I also know
Not
that New York City
everything.
bodegas, they're different people have pay different prices. It is insane. In New York City, at a bodega, different people pay different prices. Different neighborhoods, the price will change drastically.
They do, but things in Midtown as opposed to Uptown. That's one thing. Even in my neighborhood, when I used to live in Harlem on, I guess I can say now, 144th Street, a sandwich there from bodega was $5.60. So if that's Uptown, I can only imagine what it is in Midtown and in Brooklyn, where Brooklyn and Manhattan are very expensive compared to the other boroughs.
I don't think
shit is expensive.
Shit is expensive. I agree. I do not think a typical New York City sandwich is $11. That was I feel like that was extraordinary.
That's Midtown. I'm talking about Midtown area where I went to school.
Mm-hmm. And I think that I had subsidized lunch at school. I either had free lunch or subsidized lunch. Did you guys not have that at your school?
It depends on, because a lot of my family fell in the bracket of, oh, we make too much money, but it really wasn't, right? So like you fall in the bracket of you make too much money, but so you don't get school lunch, you don't get subsidized lunch, you don't get that stuff. Your parents have to give you lunch money to go to school. A lot of my friends, like myself, Kamika, my friends Amar, like we all fell in that category of, oh, your parents make too much money. Bitch, the fuck they do, because they still can't afford, they can barely afford to give you the $5 every day to go to school for lunch. That's $25 a week. So it's really tricky. And I think that people that have like 2 and 3 kids, bitch, you are spending a lot of money to send these kids to school every day with lunch money. And recently we talked about this on the podcast, and a lot of our patrons signed off saying, I mean, maybe they can sell us again. I don't remember, such a long podcast ago, talking about how school meals and school lunch is really fucked up, and a lot of people are like trying to figure it out. So we're disconnected. We don't have kids. We haven't been to school in so long. But a lot of people are complaining about how it is not easy to send their kids to school with lunch money.
Well, children are very expensive in general across the board. I think that it's probably safe to say that school lunch is probably the least expensive thing you'll do with your kids. You have to put clothes on them. You have to keep a roof over their head. You have to give them bedrooms. You have to furnish their bedrooms. You have to entertain. You have to keep them entertained. You have to get them toys. You have to buy the computers. You have to buy them calculators when they go to school. When they go to college. You have to buy them books. You have to get them cars. You have to get them.
Jesus.
You have to. Then they have hobbies. You have to put them through theater. You have to buy them instruments for band. You have to buy them clothes every season. Every time they take a break and go back,
it's wild.
You have to buy them clothes. You have to buy them sweaters. You have to buy them jackets. You have to buy them multiple jackets.
And kids grow out of shit so often, especially when you have
they need glasses, they need braces, they need shoes. Their feet keep growing. Also, they need to keep up with their friends. They want to eat more than just bread and peanut butter. So
get them money to go to the mall.
So when you go to Chili's, you gotta pay for the whole family. When you go to Benihana's, the kids got to eat there too. Children are expensive, and then sometimes for some people, when they turn 18, you don't just stop paying for stuff. You know what I mean?
Especially if kids want to go to college too, and you have to help them with that and co-sign their loans and all that shit.
So I think it's safe to say, even though I don't have any experience in this realm, well, that's not true. I have some experience with it, like helping pay for children, but I do not have any children. I think it is safe to say that children are very expensive. Probably one of the most expensive things you will ever do in your life.
Yeah, girl. On that being said, are you gonna have kids?
I don't know. Maybe one day. I mean, sometimes I think to myself, I want to have kids, but I don't have a huge need to imprint my values on a person. I don't have a strong need or a strong. I don't have my desire to like raise a person isn't strong enough to run the risk of having a kid. What if you just have a shitty kid? What if you just have a shitty adult person? What if you end up with one of those kids who yells, "I hate you"? You ever met adults who hate their parents?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What if you have one of them?
I know.
What if you have one of them?
It really is a dice roll.
Why is it looking like that? Oh, I don't hate my dad. I do not hate my dad. But my dad didn't raise me. But like it's just
a dice roll. You don't know what you're gonna. It's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're gonna get. They're like this person with all the things from your genealogy, all these recessive things that make like they're so you have no idea what you're gonna get.
Not just that, when you're not. I mean, we've had this conversation before, but you're not raising your children alone. You're raising your kids. Your kids, and the world is simultaneously raising your children with you, teaching your kids things that you and the kid don't consent to, and correct. Now it is just part of this kid's journey. And I'm like, I don't want to have a person I resent in my house eating my food. But I mean, it's tough. But anyway, and I don't know that I will love this kid regardless and unconditionally. I actually have this recent theory that I don't think love is truly unconditional. I think that love, can have very, very few conditions, and most of us just haven't gone far enough to see what the breaking point is for our moms.
How would you define love, though? What's your definition of love? Within this?
Just because love can be conditional doesn't mean that it has to be conditional. I think that it's a case by case thing and different. Some parents love their kids even though their kids are murderers, their kids are on death row, their kids have done really crazy things, and some parents are still there through all that because they love their kid unconditionally.
But maybe they just haven't found the condition yet. Like maybe there is a condition, they just haven't found it yet.
But if they never do,
I know that I don't. Yeah, that's what. I didn't say unconditional love. I said I have a theory that it might not, and I don't think that I have unconditional love. My love does have conditions, and I can say that for sure. And I think that, and I've been saying from the beginning, I think that there's a chance that like unconditional love might not be a thing. You just don't know the condition because you never actually you never got to that point. You, like the kid or the person or the lover or the partner never did a thing. So do you want to answer Jacob's question? How do you define love?
Well, wait, to that point, I want to say, but again, if you never find a condition, then that means it doesn't exist in theory. You know what I mean?
No, that's not what that means.
If I love my kid quote unquote unconditionally, and there is not a condition I meet that I feel that I can love that kid for, then where is it? What is it?
Just because you can't find it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean. Just because you haven't experienced it doesn't mean it's not real.
But listen, but the same thing. Like if I never experience that thing, how do I know that there's a condition that I will not love my kid?
I don't understand what you're asking me. All I'm saying is,
if there's no condition that comes up that makes me not love my kid, and that means I love them unconditionally.
I disagree with you. That just means you just haven't found the condition. You just haven't been in the circumstance. For example, let's say I will be healthy no matter what. But what I realize is, unless I end up getting cancer, just because I didn't get cancer doesn't mean I'm going to be healthy no matter what. It just means I just ended up not having that one thing.
But cancer is something that makes you not healthy. You don't know what the condition is that you won't love your kid if you never experience that condition.
That doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but if you never get it, how do you know what it is? How do you know that there is a condition that you will not love your kid?
Whatever you're arguing against, I'm not arguing it. I'm not saying that there is. I genuinely don't understand what you're arguing or what you're asking. What I'm saying is, I'm going to reiterate my point one more time. I think that most people, I have a theory that most people have a condition. I mean, some people just have a really hard time not loving people, and they can put up with a lot of stuff. But there probably is a thing that their child, lover, partner, dog, friend can do that would be like, I don't love this person, thing, whatever anymore, my child anymore. But a lot of people, their love is so strong for this person that they just never have to experience that thing. Now, let's just say, for instance, let's say the thing for you and your mom would be if you killed your brother, but you never killed your brother. That doesn't mean that your mother has unconditional love for you. It's just that you never tested the condition. So let's just say that the condition was you kill your brother, you kill Sean, and now Jackie's done with you. But because you never experienced it, that does not mean that it actually is unconditional. It just means you never met the condition.
But two things can be true. But let's say she's like, yes, that's the condition, and I do kill my brother, and she's like, I still love you. That's what I'm saying. Then
it's not the condition.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe there is a condition that does not exist that your parent will not love you, even though they think so. Maybe let's say the condition is drowning the cat, and you drown the cat, and they're like, well, I do still love you, and I'm gonna love you till the end. You know what I'm saying? That's what my point is.
You're not saying what I'm saying. I'm gonna read it this one time. If the thing that would make your mom not love you is you killing your brother, but then you kill him and she still loves you, that's not the condition. It was something else.
So that means, but that's what I'm saying. There is nothing else. She's like, I think this is the thing. And then you do kill your brother, and she's like, I still love you. That means that condition is not met. Like, I mean, that is like a big hypothesis.
I'm also not basing it off of she's thinking maybe if you kill your brother. What I'm saying is, if the thing is definitively you kill your brother, but you never kill him, then you never experienced it. That doesn't mean that it's unconditional. That doesn't mean that the love is still unconditional just because you didn't meet the condition.
But people who have unconditional love, they're saying emphatically, there is nothing that you can do that will make me not love you, son. They're not saying what you're saying. You're saying that there is a condition, and they're like, I will not love you for. People who say I have unconditional love,
I'm saying I have a theory there might be.
I know.
You're not saying what I'm saying.
Well,
you're not saying what I'm saying.
We're talking about theories and hypotheses. We're doing this together.
All I'm saying is you're not saying what I'm saying. Is all I'm saying. You're not saying what I'm saying.
Okay, because we're having a conversation about unconditional love, and you're saying that do you think that there's a theory that love is not unconditional? And I'm saying for some people it is. So we both have both things that we're working through in this topic of unconditional love.
I agree. I'm not saying what you're saying. All I'm saying is you weren't saying what I was saying. You were saying you're saying, and I was like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying something different than what you're saying. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't saying what you're saying was wrong. I'm saying is what you were saying I was saying wasn't true. I was not saying that. I was saying something different than what you were saying I was saying.
Yeah, you and I just having a talk about unconditional love. You have your theory on it. That's my theory on it. We're just theorizing together.
We both agree that we both have different theories. That's not up for debate right now. All I'm saying is you were categorizing or misrepresenting my theory is what I was saying.
So how would you both define love?
I think that love is just a strong feeling you have for someone else, and usually a strong positive feeling. I think love is a strong positive feeling you have for someone else.
I'd agree with that, and I think that there are different subcategories of love. There is a love for a partner, a love for a family member, love for a coworker. I think like there are different levels of love, and how it varies depending on who the person that you love is. But I think I would agree that it has to be positive. Love is positive. I don't think love is a negative feeling.
I think love can be a negative feeling.
You love something negatively?
I think that love can have negative feelings.
How?
I think that
give me an example.
I think that if you love someone, but you know that you can't be together or you can't work together, or you love them and they're bad. If you love your child and they're a bad person, it can create negative feelings. I think love can create negative feelings.
Yeah, okay, that's different. Love can create negative feelings, but I don't think love is a bad thing. To the point of if I love Jeffrey Dahmer, if Jeffrey Dahmer was my kid and I love him so much, I still love him. That's a positive thing. But I'm angry at things that he does. I hate the fact that I love him because he's a bad person. That's different. Like love in itself.
Well, you don't know that because you don't love Jeffrey Dahmer. You don't know that. You don't know how it feels to love someone who you feel might be evil. You have no clue what it's like because have you ever done that before?
I have.
So you don't know that. So
let me try to think. Have I ever loved someone that was bad? I mean,
bad is a subjective term.
Right? And bad is subjective, but in theory, like my birth mother, like she has done a lot of bad stuff to myself, to my other siblings that she has mothered. I do love her, but I don't.
Does your love for her feel good?
No, good meaning what? Does
it feel good? Does it feel not negative? Your love for your mother, does it feel good?
My love for my mother feels. I don't know if it's negative or good. I just we talked about this before. I'm not mad at her. I don't want to be with her. I'm just like this person exists.
But that's what I was saying. That's why I was shifting my thought, saying that the feeling of love doesn't have to be positive. When I was a young kid and my father would abandon me, I had love for him, but it felt bad. It felt like a bad love. It didn't feel good. So I think there are circumstances where you can have love for someone and the love itself can be bad and not feel good and feel negative.
Interesting.
I think that that's possible. I think that we really do this weird blasting of the word love. Love. Everything is love. Love is love. We all got love. And that it necessarily is this positive thing. You know, there is this theory out there that the only emotion is love. And there's a theory out there, I've heard this before, that the only emotion is love and everything is just varying degrees of love. It's like you're loving on this spectrum. I didn't make this up. You're loving on this spectrum. And sometimes the love feels, amorous. It feels like hate. It feels like this. It feels like all these things. But the only thing that there is love. I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but I think there might be some. But I think there might be some validity to what that person is saying, what that theory says.
I don't know. I don't agree. I think love is love, hate is hate, whatever. I don't think I've ever had a love for something that felt bad or like.
But does your love for your mother feel good?
It feels neutral. It feels just like, like we talked about before. Like if she died, if my mother was to die today, I think I would be sad about that. You know what I mean? Because
so then what is
innately,
love? At first we said it was, and I'm amending my thing. I said it was a strong positive feeling, but you said you don't have a positive feeling. You have a neutral feeling. So can you feel neutral?
I think that maybe I do have a positive feeling because if she was to die, I would be sad, and to me, that denotes that there are positive feelings there. But again, I think there is love is on this spectrum, where if I would feel bad that my mom died, I think that means that there are positive feelings there. If that makes sense.
Does that necessarily mean that like I can be sad about a person dying that I didn't even know existed until I found out they were dead? That doesn't mean I love them. But I can still be sad about it.
Is that true? Like, let's say you found out my neighbor died.
I've been sad. The lady upstairs from me died when me and Zach lived together. I didn't even know this woman existed until I found out she died, and I was sad. I was like, damn, that's sad. I had no love for this woman. I've never even seen her once in my life. Never even seen this woman. I was like, oh my God, this woman died upstairs by herself in this house. That's so sad. Oh, I was sad.
But I think that's a different feeling that would you feel if it was like a family member or a loved one. You know what I mean?
Well, what I'm saying is, I think you can feel sad about someone dying, and it doesn't have to be because you love them. It doesn't have to come from a place of love. It can just be like, well, damn, death is sad.
Well,
death itself is a sad thing. Therefore, like, ooh, I am affected by this because this person died, and I think many
people can agree death is sad. But I mean, I think that's different for a neighbor than like a family member or a loved one. I guess loved one, you're putting love in it, which is. Has a positive connotation to it.
I've had family members die and be like, ugh, and kind of just moved on.
Work.
Yeah, I've had family.
Say their name.
Not doing that.
Were these people that you had bad experiences with?
No. People that I had practically no experiences with. I was like, oh, I remember Uncle so-and-so. Ugh. That's rough.
I know it's tough, but enough is enough. Have you seen this trend of making rougher than the dragon like a thing?
I don't know what you just said.
This trend of making what would she say? Rough like
She's
a Thunder Dragon.
Rough.
It's a whole trend on Twitter and TikTok of taking rough like a Thunder Dragon, like putting it to different things.
I've not seen this sound going viral yet.
Oh, Mr. TikTok.
I hope I can land on that side of TikTok at some point. Maybe I'll just look it up. I'll just type in like a Dungeon Dragon and see what the kids are doing.
What do you think about the Nicki Minaj drama? Are you standing by Queen Nicki?
I'm gonna say this before. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I said it about what's her name, Drew. Whose name I can never.
Drew Afualo.
I at this point in my life, I do not go hard for people I don't know. I am not going to go hard for Nicki. I'm not going to go hard for Lotto. I'm not going to go hard for any of these people because like I do not know them. So I'm not on anyone's side. No.
I'm not saying I'm not asking you to pick a side. I'm just asking you like, what do you think of the drama? I'm like, what do you think? Do you think Nicki's being wild? What do you think of what you've seen? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying do you stand by I'm not saying that.
You did say do you stand by that was verbatim what you just said.
Right, but in like the way we're doing Sibling Rivalry, like how we are very hyperbolic. Like, are you gonna apologize for the queen? So you hate Nicki Minaj?
You literally just said, "Do you stand by Nicki?" And you're like, "I'm not asking you, do you stand by?"
Well, you act like you didn't know what's popping. You're like, I'm gonna say some more time. I don't write for anyone. No, bitch. I'm talking about like, what do you think of the drama?
Bitch, let me tell you right now. I am not vague and I am not minute. Whatever, bitch. If I be saying it, I be meaning it. I think that Nicki Minaj made some. If people don't know, Nicki Minaj was saying that her song moved to the pop genre, but Lotto's song was not moved to the pop genre, and she thinks it's because they think that they know for sure she won't win the pop genre in the Grammy, but Lotto could possibly win. So therefore, Nicki is not competing with the rap girls. And I think that Nicki made some good points. I don't know that she necessarily needed to drag Lotto's name by name and like into it. I think that that we all are aware of what happens when you mention people's names. They get feelings, and then I think that Lotto had her feelings, and I think that I think it is possible to be technically right about something and maybe not done in a way that I would have done it. I think that Nicki has felt probably, I'm assuming, maybe singled out by the Grammys for a long time. especially since she did Roman Holiday at the Grammys. And despite being inarguably one of the literally most impressive rappers of all time, actually no, artist of all time, still having like no Grammy accolades to show for it.
Nicki doesn't have any Grammys?
Not one, not a single one.
Oh, Nicki Minaj. What's she been nominated for? Oh yeah, she's been nominated for a rap album, melodic rap album, rap performance, pop duo, group performance. Wow.
But she doesn't have one, and
well, she is on the Grammy ballot in other rap categories, just not for Super Freaky Girl.
The category, the theory that she got banned back in 2016 because of her, like, I don't know, so I can't quite remember. That's like I watched a whole YouTube video on it years ago, and she's like, she can't win because she's been blacklisted despite being the most chart topping female artist literally of all time. She's been in the top 100 more than any female artist ever.
She's in best rap performance for her song "Do We Have a Problem," which had a little baby in it. But Super Freaky Girl. I mean, what would you? I mean, we're not Grammy voters. We don't make the decisions. But I feel like, I mean, as someone who listens to a lot of Nicki music, I feel they do ride the line of pop and rap. So maybe they need to make like a pop rap song. Because I feel like a lot of songs do that. A lot of Doja Cat songs are pop rap to me. A lot of Nicki songs. Lotto song to me is a pop rap song. I think it's time that the Grammys makes another genre. Like those songs like pop rap songs, in my opinion.
What Grammy did Doja win? Let's see. Doja Cat won a Grammy for Doja won a Grammy for pop duo group performance with SZA.
SZA, yeah. Kiss Me More.
So yeah, I mean,
I think pop rap Grammys make pop rap a category.
Pop rap is a thing, but also maybe this is pop because SZA is singing and Doja is rapping and also kind of singing. Like Super Freaky Girl is straight up rapping. There's no singing. There's no like. I mean, maybe like
the sample is singing.
Yeah. I guess the sample is "She's All Right." It is, and it's only the first few seconds of the song.
It's still part of the song. Oh shit! Wait, hold on. Let me look up.
But then are we gonna cut out all the singing in every other song? Is there if there's any singing in?
I think when something falls, in my
Cardi B has a whole album. Cardi B won best album, and she has singing to hers. Be careful with me.
There is a category called melodic rap performance. So maybe that. I mean, to me, that's like a lot of Doja. That's a lot of Doja songs. Is melodic rap performance. She kind of like sing raps. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Grammy should think of another category. There's so much music out there. Would it hurt? There's so much music out in the world. So much music. So they can fill that category with 6 people. So many songs come out every year. Does Megan won a Grammy last year or during COVID?
Megan won a Grammy, and I think I want to say 2020 or maybe 2021. It was right before Good News.
Right. She won it for Best New Artist.
Yeah.
Megan better work 2021.
Per the Recording Academy. And I'm that bitch per the Recording Academy. No, I'm the shit per the Recording Academy.
Oh, did you see Megan I haven't watched her SNL. Did you watch it?
No, I've not watched it. I really don't tune into SNL that much. Like I should tune into SNL probably more. I tuned in obviously for RuPaul. And I think I tuned in for... Well, I caught like clips of Adele, but I didn't actually tune in. Everyone just kept showing me Adele. Yeah. And oh my God, I don't tune into SNL a whole lot.
Yeah, I normally catch the highlights, like the ones that really go viral, people really respond to. I normally catch those, but I don't sit down and watch the whole show. I have not done that. I don't think ever. I've like watched. Oh, I did watch. I tuned in for Kim K's opening monologue of live because it was really well written and honestly, it was really funny.
Yeah, there's some great writers over there on that show.
Right? But here's the thing. Do you think it was like SNL writers or she got like she hired her own writers to do like her own shit?
I mean, if I had to guess, I would assume that they were SNL writers for Kim Kardashian.
No, I believe Amy Schumer wrote Kim Kardashian.
Amy Schumer.
Amy Schumer wrote it.
Work. Yeah, I think I remembered seeing something like to that effect. And I remember after Kim K did that, literally every queen, like mad queens, which a lot of times queens remake Kim K stuff because it always looks really cool. Well, a lot of celebrity garments, not just Kim K, but like so many queens had that crushed velvet, full Balenciaga look. I saw it in green, red, blue, white, I don't purple, remember. Yellow, green.
I'm so rarely up to date with what the Kardashians do, and it's not in a way that I'm like cool. I just never know what the Kardashians are doing. Like I'm just not on their. I'm not on their Instagram. I'm not on. They are not like whatever they do. It never enters my zeitgeist unless someone like brings it up to me and I have to Google them. But I feel like I saw a lot of queens wearing this before Kim K. When was this?
No, this Kim was the reason why a lot of people had that look.
Wait, when was this?
I don't know. Google, look up what year she did it. It was like 2021 at some point.
I'm not going to deny this woman's influence and stuff.
October 9th, 2021.
I cannot deny her influence on stuff, but I cannot give Kim K credit for the crushed velvet catsuit. I just can't. I feel like I've seen this.
But is the particular silhouette of doing this thing? It had this thing on it. She took the same fabric and it had like this thing at the front of it. That's what made it like, oh, you're recreating a Kim K look.
What thing?
Like there's like a rouging in the front with the fabric.
Yeah, I'm not one of those folks who has any disdain for the Kardashians. I just I'm not one of the folks who's like, why fuck the Kardashians? I'm just kind of like, I think because I just don't like reality TV that's not competition based. I just don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's it's either the Kardashians have like kind of made this like career out of being really plain, like wearing like really like wearing nudes, wearing like a black cat suit, wearing like brown, wearing like a nude lip, wearing their hair flat, and yeah, they have the big asses and stuff. But like wearing like just like a bunch of tan and it's somehow like really exciting. I get a little bit confused about what's going on with the Kardashians sometimes.
Bitch, the guy gets Kanye West and his fucking White Lives Matter shirt at his fucking runway show. And then
you think that's the gag? Did you see his tweet?
Well, about the Jews, and then having his kids, his black kids, walking with these White Lives Matter shirts on in this runway show, and then Kim, Candace Owens, and who else was it? Let me look it up.
I mean, they also edited out his Tucker Carlson interview. They edited out most of the anti-Semitism in his Tucker Carlson interview. Someone ended up releasing the unedited footage to show how they were obviously trying to like. Years ago, Kanye West was like, "I was used," and I think he's back in that same spot, but he doesn't know it yet. Kanye West clearly has some mental issues, and it feels really sad that he's being taken advantage of in this way. And I feel
he's been taken advantage of by who?
I think that Tucker Carlson had him on his show, and it feels like it was a lot of taking advantage of someone who's going through something, who's clearly going like. I have a lot of mental health issues in my family, and when you have mental health issues, you just act crazy, you talk crazy, you say wild stuff, you do just the wildest thing because your brain is literally not working properly. And you are still responsible for your actions. And yes, you say fucked up things, but also your brain just does not work in a way that is conducive to functioning in society without people being upset, hurt, angry at you.
It was Kanye West, Candace Owens, Kid Rock, and Ray J posing on this red carpet thing because Kanye West just bought what is it? It's that new social media app that Candace Owens' husband owns. It's just like some crazy stuff. Candace Owens is clearly trying to use Kanye West to buy this platform and give her Parler. Yes,
Kanye West bought Parler.
Yes, Kanye West just bought Parler from Candace Owens' husband or boyfriend, who the fuck it is.
Well, Parler is like conservative Twitter,
right?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna say Kanye West is. I am not a mental health expert and I have no right to diagnose anyone, but I think to anyone looking from the outside in, Kanye West clearly has some mental health issues. And when you are in that brain set, you just can't, it is hard to, and he also tweeted a while back about, he's like, I'm off my meds and I'm like loving it. And he's like, he's unmedicated, according to his own tweets. I don't know. Maybe he's back on his medication or what. But like, I think it is really easy to take advantage of someone who's in that situation. And RuPaul tweeted out something a while back that said, if we knew how fragile mental health was, we'd be a lot less judgy. Like if we all knew how, it's something like that. If we all knew how close we all were to and whenever I look at people doing something that I think is like wild or ridiculous, I always think to myself, and I said this on podcasts a lot, if I had all of your circumstances, if I had all of your experiences, I would be just like you. I would be just like you. If I looked like you, was raised where you were raised, had the people say to me what they said to me, had your brain, bitch, I would be just like you. I would be you.
I mean, yeah, that's true for everyone. If you had the same if you looked just like Jeffrey Dahmer, raised just like him, and all the stuff his dad did to him, teaching him how to drill into raccoons and shit on the side of the road, you would end up just like him too.
No, that had his brain, had all of his everything.
Right.
That could have easily been, that could have been me. Except I ended up over here and I'm me. I'm this person instead of being that person. And I try to lead with that in my mind when I think about people like, why the fuck would this person do that? Because they're them. Because they had their experiences, because their environment created them to be who they are.
I mean, I get that, but it still doesn't change how damaging a lot of this is. So I think that whoever is, I mean, I'm sure maybe he has people. I mean, Kim K, I think on one episode of Kardashian talk about someone who is in charge of his estate. I don't know. I don't remember who it is, but they need to really get a hold of that because of how many Black people still love and support Kanye West. It is very damaging to the community. And Kanye West pirating these White Lives Matter shirts on the international internet for everyone to see, and is seeing this Black man who has so much influence doing all this stuff. It is very damaging. It's very dangerous, and something has to be done to stop the turmoil and the damage that he's causing. You know what I mean?
Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean something has to be done to stop him? Something like, what do you mean something has to be done to stop him?
I don't know what I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means a conservatorship. I don't know what that looks like for someone who's worth $2 billion and is doing all this stuff. I don't know what that looks like, but people who have a lot of money, who are smart and who deal with this stuff on the daily with people who have a lot of money, I'm sure there are ways to figure out what to do. It's never a thing that I have had to deal with in my life, because I'm not worth that kind of money. I don't deal with that kind of stuff, but I'm sure there are people who literally it's their job to help figure this stuff out.
Yeah, I just think it's really sad, to be honest, and I don't envy Kanye West, and it's not that I feel so, and I do feel bad for him, and I'm not making excuses for his actions, but like it's just really hard when someone's clearly not mentally well. It's just hard. And I think it's because I see it so much. I've seen it so much up close and personal with loved ones. And I'm like, they're not well. They're not well. And I've had loved ones who like their actions upset people. And they're like, well, I just don't fuck with this person. I don't deal with them. But Kanye West has a reach that's really wide, and it affects us whether or not we deal with them, whether or not we fuck with them. You know what I mean?
I don't fuck with you. Well, Bob, we are out of time. And the podcast has come to a close. So long, farewell to you, my friend. Do you know that? Do you know Roly Poly Oly?
No.
Oh!
Is that one of SZA's songs?
No, it's a show it was a cartoon. It's a kids show from like 2000s.
I don't know if she did ACL or something. It could have been really cool.
No, but she did say that a music video for Shirt is coming very soon.
Can't wait to see the video for Shirt by SZA.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything else to wrap it up, or are we just leaving it there?
I think that was the wrap. Maybe this is the wrap.